Good morning, Tiffany. So nice to see you. I'm glad you're well. So we can start this morning together by breathing. So if you'd like, as the rice cooker beeps, you can take a deep breath in. And exhale. I'm doing well, Anastasia. I'm really happy to be here right now. I really like doing this stream. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So now we will start to do morning vocal warm-up. Get the vocal tract ready to pray together. Crazy Lena, well, welcome back. We missed you here too. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, then exhale, making a tone, a low tone, as low as we can go. And that will get the entire vocal tract vibrating and activated. And so we'll wake up and be ready for the day. Morning, Amy. How are you? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Yes, my hair is long today because I took a shower, so it drops lower than normal. So now, on our next inhalation, we're going to make a higher tone. And for this tone, I try to make a note that is right at the edge of my regular singing voice, my M1 vibratory frequency. I try to go as high as I can while still keeping it in this regular register and see how high I can hold the note there, how long I can hold the note there, how steady. Take a deep breath in. And then I'll go a bit higher and into falsetto and see how long I can hold the note. Then I just inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Yes, this is meditation, and yes, I am a boy or a girl. So now we're going to start praying. We're going to start with some words called the Shema. And Shema means listen in Hebrew. Shema Yisrael, Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. What are we praying to? What are we praying to? What an interesting question. Would anyone like to suggest an answer to this question? It's a very deep question, actually, coming from a troll or none. What are we praying to? What are we praying for? How are we praying? What does it mean for us to be saying these words here together this morning? Well, the English translation of those words, Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Listen, Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Asherah Echad. I've added the Asherah. That's my own religious intent, to add the name of this goddess here. Right? And so for me, what the words mean is that these various old deities, Yahweh, El, Asherah, where are they? I can show you images of them, graven images. These various old deities, Yahweh, Asherah, El, Anat, Echad, are one. All is one. In a similar way that this tree, which contains every living creature that has ever lived on this planet, is one tree, one phylogenetic tree. El and Yahweh are the same being and not. No? Yes, they are the same being and not, right? Yahweh is a god of Judah. El is a god of Samaria, historically speaking. But they are one, right? That's what the prayer says. The prayer that the Deuteronomists wrote upon their return after exile in Babylon is, hey, all of these deities that we have been worshipping throughout our cultural history, they are actually one. They are actually one. Klaus is here. Yay, Klaus is here. The ritual varies. I'm a little bit early today. It's 8:45 today. Sometimes I don't start until 9 or 10. What religions have I studied? I've studied mostly Judaism and Hinduism. Those are the prayers that we're going to say today. They're Hebrew and Sanskrit prayers from various Jewish and Hindu traditions that I've been exposed to. So the next prayer we're going to say. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning. The next prayer we're going to say is called the V'ahavta, and it's sort of the blueprint of the Jewish religion in a certain sense, right? It's like a serpent that eats its tail. It contains itself. I think it's a very beautiful prayer, and I am excited to share it with you all today. And for those of you that are familiar with it, if any of you are, as my audience grows, for those of you that are familiar with it, as I recite it, please tell me the first time that you heard this prayer. How old were you? What is your first memory of this prayer? ואהבת את ענת אלוהיך ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. You were 6, and you were today old. Well, that's great. That's exactly the spectrum that I hoped to hear. You were 6. And how might a 6-year-old understand this prayer, right? First heard at 31. still hate religion. There's a lot of religion that we should hate, right? In fact, there's certain kinds of hate that were invented by this religion. So that prayer is called the V'ahavta. And it's a prayer about repetition. And the English translation goes, and you shall love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. What's going on here? We're translating this prayer, the V'ahavta. That's what we're doing right now. How long did it take me to learn this prayer? I learned this prayer before I knew what it meant. I learned this prayer also when I was about 6 years old. Right? It was said all around me. And I did not know what the words meant, but they entered me, right? They lodged themselves deep into my mind. And then I forgot them. And then one day, when I was 22, I was in Israel, and I was at the Western Wall, and these Hasidic men gave me this prayer on a little piece of paper and told me to say it by the rocks. And I said it, and I was like, wait, I know this prayer. I know this prayer. This prayer is in me somewhere. And I relearned it then, and I memorized it then. And soon after that, I started saying it every day. And it goes, no, that's not how it goes. V'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha. And you shall love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. And these words that I teach to you today, teach them to your children. Say them on TikTok. Recite them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. You shall bind them as a symbol on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. And inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Repeat me, the prayer says. The prayer says, repeat me. And I've been repeating it since before I knew what it meant. I'm glad that helped. People who don't know anything about Judaism saying I'm sinning. I'm saying words that I have strong confidence Jesus was saying on the cross as he was being crucified. Right? These are old words. And what comes next? What comes next? What comes next? Next in the book of Deuteronomy. Can I repeat the name of the prayer again? It's called the V'ahavta. And before that, it's called the Shema. Shema and V'ahavta are in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. And what comes next in the book of Deuteronomy, after the Shema and after the V'ahavta? Moses on a rock speaking to his people. Traumatized Deuteronomist priests writing furiously, trying to preserve their culture after a genocide. And they wrote, V'chaya, ki v'chaya Elohecha el ha'aretz asher nisbai levatecha levram lischach ol Yaakov. Letet lach avrim gedolot v'tavot asher lo vanita, uvatim mili'im kol teva asher lo mileta, uverot hatzavim asher lo hasatva, ke'arim bizitim asher lo natata, ve'alachta v'shavata, hishamer lecha pen tishchach et Yahweh asher tishchacha bi'eretz Mitzrayim mibet avadim. House of Bondage, avadim. You're right, Jesus didn't speak Hebrew, Jesus spoke Aramaic. But I assure you he knew this prayer. Oh, I assure you he would have known. If there's any reality to a historical Jesus, right? If we know anything about his character as a religious Jew, right? Who was thinking deeply about the nature of God and following the old rituals, he would have been saying these words upon his deathbed. Yes, he would have. When Yahweh Eloheinu brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to assign to you great and flourishing cities that you did not build, houses full of all good things that you did not fill, hewn cisterns that you did not hew, vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant, and you eat your fill. Take heed that you do not forget Yahweh, who freed you from the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. When were we in the house of bondage? In Egypt? In Babylon? In Auschwitz? What is this house of bondage? And why is it that if we forget the name Yahweh, we might return there? I live on Oneida land, right? To me, that is what this prayer says. remember that you live on stolen land. The land that you occupy today was stolen from someone else, and in the course of history it will be stolen from you, because that is the way the pattern works. You're not religious, but this is calming me from a panic attack. Thank you. Well, you're so welcome. That is why I am here. Every morning. That is why I'm here. And to give you a panic attack is also why I am here. Fancy that. Fancy that. So I live on Untitled land. Whose land do you live on? Do you know? Whose land was stolen in order for you to live this life that you are living? Every one of us could answer that question with the name of a people. Every single one of us. If you reach back far enough in history. That is what this prayer reminds me about. I live on Untitled land. I drink from a cistern that I did not hew. I eat from vineyards I did not plant. I live in a house full of all good things that I did not fill. And it can be taken away. And in fact, the history of who I am, the history of my ancestors, is a history of land being given and land being taken away violently. I came upon a wedding that old families had contrived, with Bethlehem the bridegroom and Babylon the bride. Oh, great Babylon was trembling, and she stood there naked with me. And Bethlehem inflamed us both like the shy one at some orgy. And when we fell together, all our flesh was like a veil that we had to draw aside to see the serpent eat its tail. Oh. Some women wait for Jesus, and some we wait for Cain. So I'll hang upon this altar, and I'll hoist my axe again, and I'll take the one who finds me back to where it all began, back when Jesus was the honeymoon, and Cain was just a man, and we'll read from pleasant Bibles that are bound in blood and skin, that Asherah is gathering all her children back again. Yes, we're low on moderators here today. Klaus, why don't I didn't realize that you were not a moderator on TikTok. Klaus, can you message here so that I can make you a moderator? Oh, we do have a mod in here. Wait for Cain. Yes, we know what Yahweh thought of him, and that is precisely why we should wait for him. If anyone would like to moderate for me, I would really appreciate that. And the first step to becoming a moderator is to join my Discord server, and then we can chat about what it means to actually do the job well. And there are... Kieran, I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, there are a few mods in this space, so that's good. That is good. What is this? That's the perennial question. What is this? What are we doing here today? What are we doing here today? Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, shelo ashani isha. I repeat the name of Yahweh Eloheinu, who did not make me a woman. I did. Baruch atah Asherah, Anat melecha ha'olam, asher yitzaret ha'adam b'chachama u'v'ra v'or. I repeat the name of Asherah Anat, who made me with many openings and cavities. What kind of career do I have? I am a teacher. I am a teacher. Every day I teach a little bit. So how are you all doing today? Good morning. Good morning. This live is such a vibe, so relaxing. I'm glad. That is why I am here. That is why I am here. What am I up to? How is my day going? I am hanging out with you all right now. My day is going great. My day is going great. How many of you have seen this tree before? Tree of life. This is what we're thinking about today. This beautiful tree. Do I always have my rice find you so interesting? Yes, I eat rice basically every morning. Opinion on Hebrew Israelite, please. You're researching. Can you ask me a more detailed question? The true knowledge of the true people closest to God have been tarnished because of wicked ways. Well, that's an interesting story, isn't it? What a story we've inherited, right? We are the people closest to God. We are the chosen people. And all those other races that God did not choose are inferior to us. So it says in the book of Ezra. What a lovely message. Thanks, Ezra, for ingraining supremacy ideology into our holiest of books. Yes, we are the chosen people. We have the truest relationship with God. Oh, what a story. What a story. What a story. How does one become Jewish? Well, that's part of the story too. You are born this way. It's an affliction. You inherit trauma from your parents and your grandparents. You inherit the trauma of a civilization that tried to murder them. And that makes you Jewish. No one is special. No, that is my belief. No one is special. So how do I embrace that, right? How do I engage with an ideology which says that I am the chosen people? I am of the chosen people. How do I engage with that ideology when I truly believe that no one is special? I, quote, were the chosen one. Now we all have the opportunity to become adopted into his family, right? That is what Jesus said. You're confused on being Jewish and Hebrew and Israelite. So, Hebrew is an ancient language that is also spoken today in modern times. Israelite is an ancient nationality that you could have been from about 850 BC to about 722 BC. Short period of time when you could have legitimately said that you were a member of the Israelite monarchy. Kingdom. Right, and then the kingdom was destroyed and it turned into something else. It became an ethnicity, right? Israelite became an ethnicity, along with Judahite, right? Being from a place, similar to what it means to be Palestinian today. And then, about 70 years ago, it became a nation again, and you can be Israeli, which is different from being an Israelite by about 3,000 years, but you can be Israeli now. And that means a member, a citizen of the state of Israel. And some people are, and some people are not. And it is yet one more instantiation of supremacy ideology. Yeah. Does that answer that question? Let's sing. Kajananam Mutaganati Sevitam Kapita Jambupala Sarabakshitam Umasutam Sukavinasakarnam Mahamatim Divyan Mayuravahanam Ridasyasunam Surasananatam Guham Sadanam Saranam Prapadye Yaku Hendutu Saradavala Yasupravasvarita Yavinavaranda Mandita Kara Yasvita Padmasana Yabramachuta Sankara Pratrabide Vasata Pujita Samampatu Saraswati Bhagavatini Hesatyadyapaha Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nisparanchaya Santaya Shishivanandaya Te Namaha Shri Vishnu Devanandaya Te Namaha Om Sarva Mangla Manglaye Shive Savarta Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Om Am I a monk? No. I appreciate you all too. I appreciate you so much. so much. I hope that being here makes you want to connect to your spirituality more. That is my intention. That is why I'm here. That is why I am here, and I like being here with you together. Thank you for the flowers, tall girl. Thank you so much. Thank you all. So now we're going to say a prayer called the Maharityunjaya mantra. It's in Sanskrit. And before we say this mantra, we're going to make a tone together. A tone. So we're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to hold a note for as long as we possibly can. And it can be tall or short, high or low. I hope that mods are helping me out. If I need any more, you're still online. I did not know what your username was, Klaus. So let me follow you. Alright, Klaus. Now we're friends. I can make you a mod the next stream that you're on. So the next time you're actually on the stream, message me, just like you've done, and I will make you a moderator. Of course I want you to be a moderator. Like, you do such a good job on Discord. So we're gonna say a few more prayers. We're gonna say the Mahavrityunjaya mantra. Can I join your community? Yes, you can. So we're gonna say the Mahavrityunjaya mantra, and then a couple more, Arati and Kaddish, and then we're gonna have breakfast over in my Discord community. And I would love for you to join me. There's a link in my bio, so you can click that link, and that will bring you through a passageway, and eventually it will lead you to our little online space, our Discord community. And we'll have breakfast together, and it will be nice. We'll have a nice conversation. So, before that Kaddish, and before that Arati, and before that the Mahavrityunjaya mantra, and before that, we're going to make a tone together. We're going to inhale deeply, and on the exhalation, we're going to make a low, full, pure tone. Ready? You're like a gray sprinkle on a rainbow cupcake. Well, that's poetry. That's some poetic trolling right there. That's great. Chayambakam yajamahe sigandim pushche vardanam Varvaru kami bavandanan mrityay mukshiyam amritatum Chayambakam yajamahe sigandim pushche vardanam Varvaru kami bavandanan mrityay mukshiyam amritatum Sarvesham svastir bhavatu sarvesham shantir bhavatu sarvesham purnam bhavatu sarvesham mangalam bhavatu sarve bhavantu sukhina sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashantu makashit tukbhagbhave asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityormam mritam gamaya om purnamidam purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vishishate om shanti 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 Om, peace, peace, peace. That is Sanskrit. Polyphonic overtones. No, I don't know how to sing in overtones. But perhaps one day I will learn. I have some good friends who do know how to sing in overtones. And maybe one day they will teach me. So, why don't I sing Jesus Loves Me instead of whatever I'm singing? I will sing a song about Jesus for you. I will. Don't you worry. We'll get to Jesus. But before we get to Jesus, we have to think a little bit more critically, a little bit more rigorously about what it means to pray. Because I don't think that we often know what it is we're doing when we're praying. So I want to share with you a song by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros called I Don't Want to Pray. And this song always helps me remember what it is that I'm doing with you all today and every day, right? And what it means to be raising our voices together. You look at prayer as mindful intention. You love this one. I love this one too. I don't want to pray to my maker, no. I just want to be feeling free. Not just who I am, but the pink in golden land, and the wide, wild sky over me. Help me to the sun, hey, I'm looking everywhere. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. And it's not much good to talk, better to walk it. Ooh. Not much good to take, better to give. We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins. And I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again. So, pardon, God and Mom. What I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. Allah made love, and Yahweh made hate. Asher made good, and Anat made bad. Elohim made love, and Yahweh made hate. Allah, God made, but I don't want to pray to my Maker. I just want to be what I see. Not like in a book, or leaves of trees that shook, from a word that means only not a thing. No. Pardon, God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. Allah made love, and Yahweh made hate. Asher made good, and Anat made bad. Elohim made love, and Yahweh made hate. Allah, God made me. Oh, my friends, you know there's another possibility, which is that it is my fault. My phone is overheating. I'm getting a notification. So I'm going to quit TikTok and rejoin. And I think that will fix the problem. So I'm going to quit, and you all will have to rejoin me for our final 2 prayers. And I hope you do. And then we'll be moving over to Discord. Okay? I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Not even. 30 seconds. And now.
There are some people I despise.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen.
And we are back. Hello, my friends. How are we all doing? I invited you. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. TikTok does that automatically. So strange, the live didn't come up for you. You had to search your name. Well, I'm glad you're here, Katie. And we're back. Yes, we are back. We're all back. The core crew. Hopefully this is better. I think I need to buy a new cell phone. If this is frequently happening, I think I need to get a new phone. Drat. See, this is why I have a Patreon, because I fucking have to get a new phone. It's like, this phone, I can't use this phone to live stream because the audio breaks up. Even though, like, this is very nice. It's like, sometimes these phones, they just don't. I need to find a phone that is good for live streaming. It's never ending. Never ending. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, let's say Arati, and then let's say Kaddish, and then we'll have some breakfast together over on Discord. Yeah? Good morning. Good morning, Kate. How are you? So, we're gonna say Arati. The word Arati means flame. in Sanskrit. And then we're going to say Kaddish. The word Kaddish means holy in Sanskrit, and it's also the name of this ancient goddess of the city of Kaddish on the Syrian coast that was destroyed by the Sea Peoples 3,500 years ago. We're going to say Arti, which means flame, and then Kaddish, which is said, friend of flames. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Jaya Jayarati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jayarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jaya Jayarati Venkanta Ramana Venkanta Ramana Sankata Harana Sita Rama Radhe Shama Jaya Jayarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jayarati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jayarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jayarati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimutri Avatara Jaya Jayarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sanistaraya Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sankarachaya Sankarachaya Advaita Gurave Jaya Jayarati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jayarati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jayarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shri Rama Priyaye Jaya Jayarati Ayapa Swamine Ayapa Swamine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jayarati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jaya Jayarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Gurubho Namaha Jaya Jayarati Venugopala. Natatra Suyabati Natandragaratam Nema Vidyabati Kutaya Magni Twameva Bantaminavanti Sarvam Tasya Basya Sarmitam Vivanti Om Gange Kayamune Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Siddhikaveri Hiya Namastitam Namo Namaha. Neither the sun shines there, nor the moon, the stars, nor lightning. So from where does this light come? When it shines, everything shines after that. By its light, all light else is lit. Good morning, everyone. Twameva mata chapita twameva Twameva bandisha saka twameva Twameva vidya dravinam twameva Twameva sarvam mama deva deva Kayena vacha manasendriyarva Budyatmanava prakrite sabhavad Karomi adyad mangalam pasmahi Narayanahi ti sarmar payami Sarvadharmam pravichayam amikam saranam raja Aham sva sarvapapayo mokshayami masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, intellect, or my emotions, all these, I dedicate to you. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. It means a lot. What am I doing? Genuine question. What are we doing? Well, why don't I share with you a story? I haven't shared this story on this live before because I don't fully know how to tell it. But that's what happens when stories get passed down from generation to generation. This is a story that my mother told me about my grandfather. This is my grandfather's talit, right? There are words on the back that read Baruch Atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivani lehitatif letzitzit. I repeat the name of Yahweh Eloheinu, who commanded me to put on fabric with knots. This is my grandfather's shawl. I don't know how many years he used this shawl for. It's not his oldest shawl. He got this when he moved to America at some point. But my mother told me a story about his shawl during the war, during World War II, when he was a prisoner in a Soviet work camp. And there was typhus in the camp, typhus fever, typhoid fever, and he was sleeping in a bunk with many sick men. And one night he got up to pee, and as he was returning, he was stopped by another man who said, "Don't go back into that building. They're lighting it on fire." They're lighting it on fire as a kind of quarantine to kill all of the prisoners inside who were ill so that the fever would not spread to the rest of the camp. And so my grandfather was told, "Don't go back in there." He said, "But wait, I need to get my prayer shawl." He had his prayer shawl with him still. "Wait, I need to get my prayer shawl." And the man who warned him said, No, you can't go back in for your shawl. They're lighting it right now." And then it was on fire. And my grandfather stood there for the rest of the night saying Kaddish. Saying Kaddish for all of the people in that cabin who were burning alive or who were dying of typhus. It's difficult to say. Kaddish is a very old prayer that has been said for thousands of years in response to death. At least 2,500 years. And so we will say it again. We'll say these words again. We'll say words that my grandfather spoke all night. This is so sad. Yes, it's terribly sad, and yet I feel very lucky that my ancestors have given me a response to this kind of horror, right? It's hard to know how to respond to the death of thousands of people, right? How many people have died of coronavirus in the last 2 years? Millions, right? How many people, how much suffering has the world been through since the dawn of time? 3.8 billion years, right? All of these living beings on this tree of life have been living and dying and suffering. So we can say Kaddish for all of them, right? And I can think about my grandfather seeking a shawl like this that would end up being burned, right? And I can think about this shawl, the incomplete stories I know of how it came here. I can say Kaddish for him. He died at how long ago did he die? He died 13 years ago. My grandfather died. So we can say Kaddish for all those people. Who do you want to say Kaddish for? Who do you need to say Kaddish for? Right? This is the time. This is the time to remember those who we are grieving. So if there are names that you wish us to hold together in our shared space here, please put them in the chat. Who should we be saying Kaddish for? And we'll say Kaddish to remember the lives and the deaths of all of those who suffer on this world. Yid Gadal, Vid Kadash, Shema Rabba, Biama Divrach Yute, Viamlich Mal Chute, Bachayachon, Uvyamechon, Uvchayed, Kolbe Israel, Bagala, Uvisman Kariv, Vimru, Amen. Yehe Shema Rabba, Mivaarach Lialam, Ame, Almaya, Yid Barach, Vishtabach, Vid Baar, Vid Ermam, Vid Nase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Sheme, de Kudisha, Brechu, La Elamin Kol Birchata, Vishirata, Tushvichata, Vanechimata, Diamiran, Bialma, Vimru, Amin. Yesh Lamarab, Amin, Shemaya, Vichaim, Alenu, Viachol, Yisrael, Vimru, Amin, Ose, Shalom, Vimrma, Huya, Ase, Shalom, Alenu, Viachol, Yisrael, Vimru, Amen. Oh, say shalom bimramav. Oy, say shalom aleinu. V'al chol Yisrael. V'imru, v'imru, amen. Thank you for the prayers this morning. Thank you so much. So now we're going to shift to Discord. And if you like, there's a link in my bio to get there. Woohoo! There's a link in my bio. Free Palestine. Yes, let's free Palestine, shall we? I'd like to free Palestine. You're so wonderful. You need to know that too. Now we take off the prayer shawl. So we're going to shift over to Discord. Discord is our little community space, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you all over there. It's always nice to get to know you all a little bit better, right? Like, an audience like this is one thing. I got this long stream of ideas and opinions, and some of them are really thoughtful. Some of them are pretty terrible. And on Discord, I actually get to know you. And no one asks me if I'm male or female, because they know. How are you all doing today? How are you all doing today? Okay, so I'm going to turn this phone around, and then we're going to shift onto Discord. How does that sound? Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing well, Kieran. As I was saying that final prayer, I got a very strong cramp in my abdomen, which is unusual, but I was having a little bit of stomach problems earlier. You don't know Discord? There's a link in my bio to my Patreon, and that will bring you to Discord. Good morning, Kathy. How are you? So we're going to turn this around. Turn it around. There. Look at that. The Ouroboros is me. Ah!